Hello BookTube, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth and today is Thursday, May the 10th, and I want to talk about all the readathons that are happening in May. Now you guys already know that I am participating and co-hosting in middle grade May. That was created by Akos, and we have a few co-hosts, and that is going full force, full swing, and lots of people are posting things on Instagram and Twitter. Our main challenge for that is to post quotes as you are reading your middle grade books. The only challenge we have within the middle grade May readathon is to post your favorite quotes from the books that you read. So I've been doing that, and then one of the other co-hosts and myself issued a challenge to read a book a day in May. That is not going quite so well for me as the last 2 years. I did finish 5 books in the first 5 days. One of them was an adult book that I was finishing, and then to offset that, I read a children's storybook and then 3 middle grade books. I finished them a little after midnight, so it was technically May the 6th, but anyway, since then though, since May the 5th was over, I have started 9 books, all middle grade, and have not finished any of them, and today's the 10th. So I don't know if I'm going to have anything done before or by Friday to report back on my Friday Reads video or not. I'm just about an hour and a half from finishing one audiobook, and it's on my phone, it's on Hoopla. I could speed it up, but I've just been enjoying it at regular speed. So you know, I know that it's better to just enjoy what you're reading, and I'm enjoying everything so far, rather than to try to just rush through it. So that's what I decided. Even if I don't manage to accomplish book a day in May, I'm just going to enjoy what I'm reading. I do think, though, that I will catch up. It's just that this has been a crazy week, and of course, all my weeks are crazy weeks, but some weeks just go faster than others, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to enjoy it. And within the month, though, within middle grade May, I have started reading the Sunshine State books for next school year, and I finished one, and I've started another. Then I'm also trying to finish some series, trilogies, things like that, that are on my 20 by 20 list. And then I decided that I would join in on a couple of other readathons that are happening this month. So I wanted to tell you about those. Now, the other readathon that's going all month long that I am participating in is the Chicklitathon. Now, it was created by Sophie from All Things Equilateral, and I found out about it through Lisa from Books and Smiles and Jen from Jen Talks Audiobooks. They are also co-hosting, and I have followed them for a long time, and they both enjoy a good chicklit book, and I thought I would go ahead and participate. Now, of course, I have to do that within the middle grade realm because, first and foremost, I'm reading middle grade books this month. So I'm taking the Chicklitathon challenges and I am fitting them in, kind of assimilating them with what I'm already reading, and I've picked a couple of other things that are middle grade books that fit the Chicklitathon challenges. So I want to tell you about those. And then also I decided to do the Buzzwordathon. That is actually going on right now. It started the 7th and goes through the 13th. This is the first round of it, and the buzzword for this week is girl. So they want you to read books with the word girl in the title. I picked a couple off my shelf, and I have also downloaded a couple of them on audio. So I think I can get 2 done, but for sure I'll get 1 done just to say I participated in the Buzzwordathon word girl. Okay, then coming up later in the month, the 20th through the 27th. Oh, and the Buzzwordathon is hosted by Lala and I believe Dylan. I think his channel is Dylan Loves Books. I think that's right. So, and Books and Lala. So then the Borrowathon is the 20th through the 27th. I have participated in the Borrowathon once before, and I thought it would, it'll work well with the middle grade books that I'm already reading. So I have looked at those challenges and sort of taken the books that I was already planning to read this month and fit the books that, you know, the books that fit those challenges, I am going to fit those in to that week. So a couple of them that I was going to read sooner, I'm going to hold off till that week and do the Borrowathon as well. So let's just quickly go through the challenges. Now for the Buzzwordathon, I said the word is girl. So on Overdrive, this was available, and I already have a print copy here. This is my book, Brown Girl Reading by Jacqueline Woodson, and I'm going to make this book count for one of the Borrowathon challenges too. So I'll tell you about that when I get to it. But this is perfect for the Buzzwordathon, and it wasn't something that was on my TBR, like my immediate TBR, but I've already checked it out from Overdrive. However, there is one of the Sunshine State books for next year's list that's called The Girl Who Could Not Dream, and I haven't been able to get a physical copy of it so far, but it is available on Audible, and it costs more than the credits cost. Oh, I've got one of the cats that's outside is climbing the window. He needs to come inside, but we're out of, as I told you guys on my yesterday's video, our air conditioning's out. So even though it's pretty nice in here right now, it's not bad at all. I put most of the animals outside, the ones that would go out, just so that, you know, they wouldn't get claustrophobic in here in a non-air conditioned house. Anyway, sorry, that's what caught my attention. The book, it's called Girl Who Could Not Dream. That's the best picture I can get of it, the biggest one. It's on Audible. I don't know if you can see that. The amount that it would cost to buy it is more than what the credit costs, and I haven't spent my credits for my credit for this month or last month, so I'm probably going to go ahead and purchase that from Audible, but I might just wait, and since I have Brown Girl Dreaming checked out, go ahead and see if I can get through that one. However, because this is one of the Sunshine State books, I do want to read at least 5 of the Sunshine State books this month, and I've started my second one, so we'll see. It'll be one of those or both. Now, on my shelf, I had a couple. I'll show them to you real quick, although I doubt I'll get to them. Millicent Min, Girl Genius by Lisa Yee. I think Acost just read this. One of the other Middle Grade May hosts just read this, and I believe they liked it. And then here's an older one that was on my shelf, Bonanza Girl by Patricia Beatty. So those are just a couple of options that I had for the Buzzword Girl. And simply, in case you're not familiar with the Buzzwordathon, you just had to find books with the word girl in the title. And they said there's going to be more rounds with different buzzwords, but for this week, it's girl. Okay, so the next, for the Chicklitathon, the first challenge is to read a book with pink on the cover. And I'm already listening to this. This is 13 gifts. So you can see right here, one of the gifts is pink. And there's some other pink scattered around. But that's a book that's already ongoing in my car. I'm listening to it on CD. So that's perfect. This one also has pink on the cover, but it's music themed. I started this yesterday, and it is one of the Sunshine State books for next year. It's called The First Rule of Punk by Celia C. Perez, and it is available on audio, but the main character likes to make zines. So a lot of her zines, which are basically kind of like journals, but they're cutouts. She cuts out things and makes these kind of scrapbooks, if you will. So there is quite a bit of that in here. So I think this book really is better read in print, and it should go fast. I read 3 chapters yesterday, and because a lot of it is the graphics, I think that it'll go quickly. So oh, and this is for the challenge to read a book that's music themed, and the main character, I understand from reading the description, forms a band during this book, so that will fit perfectly with that. Then the next one is to read an older book, and this one might not necessarily count as chicklit, although I think that its predecessor is definitely a book for girls, and so even though the word men is in the title, I'm pretty sure the series as a whole is definitely of more interest to girls and women than men and boys. So the book is Little Men by Louisa May Alcott. I have only read Little Women. I've never read Little Men or Joe's Boys, so I have been wanting to do that, and that is on my 20 by 20 stack challenge for the year. So then the next one is to read a prolific author, a book by a prolific author who you've never read. So I'm going to count Brown Girl Dreaming for that. And so even if I don't get it done during the Buzzwordathon week, it'll still count for something during the month. And then the last one is to read a serious book. So I picked one that has been on my TBR for a while. I wasn't sure I was going to read it this month, but it's been highly recommended by people who I have really enjoyed watching and reading reviews by. So I'm going to read The Red Pencil by Andrea Davis Pinkney. Now, Akos read this and really enjoyed it. I think she rated it 4 stars. But I don't know if you guys remember Patty from I Smell Books. She now is a blogger. She does her blog under the title of Patty's Book Nook. She rated this book 5 stars and said, you know, stop everything and go read this now. So I have been wanting to read it simply because those 2 women recommended it, and I know that it'll be great because of that. So, well, I mean, I know it'll be great because the author wrote a great book, but because they recommended it, I'm certain that I will enjoy it as well. So, so that will be my serious book for the Chicklitathon. So then the Borrowathon, I'm going to combine a couple of these from the Chicklitathon will also work for Borrowathon. The first challenge is to read a book award winner and another one of our Sunshine State books. It's not very long. It's called Ghost by Jason Reynolds. I believe it's the first in a series. The series is called Track, and I believe it is about a track runner. This has won and been nominated for several awards. Most of them are not big awards, at least from what I read on Goodreads, but they are awards all the same. And so that's what it takes to meet that challenge. Then, oh, and I've got it on audio too, so that'll be good. Then the next one, I've got a couple of choices. The next one was to read a book with your initials on the cover. So I have a couple of choices depending on which way you want to go. Another one of our Sunshine State books is The Epic Fail of Arturo Zamora. So my name is Elizabeth Faye, so I thought E and F, the Epic Fail, would count for Elizabeth Faye, and so I could use that one. And then we could, if I don't get to that, I could let Little Men count because Lizzie Faye Meadows, LM, because my last name is Meadows. So either way, I could count either of those. So then the next one, and all these books have to be borrowed. So this is of course borrowed from the library. Now this copy of Little Men is my own copy, but I will be borrowing the audio, so I have to I can count that. Then the next one is to read someone else's favorite. And since this book was recommended so highly by Patty and she rated it 5 stars, then I'm going to assume that this is one of her favorites and count it for that. Then the next one is to read one that everyone has read but you. So I think I could safely count Little Men. I'm sure everyone hasn't read it, but it is, you know, a classic series, and I'm sure a lot of people have read this book. So then the next one is to read a book by from your favorite genre. Well, I have a lot of favorite genres, but I love a good dystopian book, and the fact that this is a middle grade or YA book is even better. And this book is borrowed from my daughter, The 11th Plague. I also have it borrowed on audio from the library through Hoopla, so both the audio and the print are borrowed, and it's by Jeff Hirsch. Then the last one for the Borrowathon is to read a book that features a library. Well, if any of these feature a library, then I'll just count it for that as well. But if they don't and I can fit it in, I will read Here Lies the Librarian by Richard Peck. This is also a very short book. Or I had been wanting to read the next Mr. Limoncello's library book, and I don't know if the next one is about a library or if it's just about Mr. Limoncello, but if it also has a library theme, then I might can get it on audio and I could read that one instead. I don't know if this is available on audio or not, but it is, this particular book is large print and it's very thin, so I don't think this would take very long to read. And I love Richard Peck. He wrote A Year Down Yonder and A Long Way from Chicago, which I talked about his character of Grandma Dowdle on my recommended middle grade characters video. So anyway, that I think is everything that will cover all the challenges for all these readathons. I missed the one that Elena was doing. Elena from Elena Reads Books was doing one, I think, on May 5th that was to read graphic novels. And had I realized that, I would have probably checked out the graphic novel of A Wrinkle in Time, because that's a book that I've been wanting to read, but I missed it. So anyway, I'm sure there's lots of other readathons, but I think this is probably enough for 1 month. And we'll just see if I can handle all of the challenges and still get everything accomplished that I want to accomplish for this month. So anyway, if you are participating in any of these readathons, let me know. And I have enjoyed seeing your updates on Instagram and Twitter, and your quotes and things, those of you who are participating in Middle Grade May. So keep that up, and as soon as I finish another book, I will post quotes. I have been posting quotes. All three of the middle grade books that I've finished so far, I have posted a quote on Twitter, and then also I've posted a notice on our Goodreads group that is hosted by Akos. It's the MG Lit Reads. I don't know. I'll put a link down below, and I'll try to remember to put a link to all these other readathons too, at least to the hosts for each one, in case you want to learn more about any of these. So that's it for this video. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Read a good book, and God bless you.